This is how fear steals years without you noticing. Nothing dramatic happened. There was no collapse, no obvious failure, but weeks kept passing. You kept telling yourself that you'd start soon and that next week would be different. And somehow it just never was. From the outside, your life still looks fine. You're functioning, you're doing enough, but inside you can feel it. Time moving, opportunities narrowing, and a quiet sense that you're more capable of the life that you're living. Maybe you're aiming lower without even noticing it. And that's the cost that nobody warns you about. Now, if any of this sounds familiar, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. I wasn't obviously failing either. I wasn't lazy or lost. I was capable. I had ideas and plans I genuinely believed in. I wasn't failing loudly. I was just quietly drifting. And that's exactly what made it so dangerous. Nothing was obviously wrong, and that's how I lost so much time. And it usually shows up like this. You know exactly what you should do, and you think about it all day. But when it's time to actually start, something tightens. So you just tell yourself you'll do it later. Not because you don't care, but because starting feels a lot heavier than it should. So most people think that procrastination is about laziness or discipline or motivation, but that's not really what's happening. What's actually happening is fear, and underneath that fear is shame. And it's not loud shame, it's not the guilty feeling of shame, it's more of a subtle, quiet shame. It's more of a belief than a feeling, something that you want to avoid, something that you don't want to expose. And this type of shame doesn't scream at you, but it slowly drains you. Because the real cost of procrastination isn't the thing that you said you would do today and then don't do. It's not the task you didn't do today. It's the life that quietly slips past when you keep delaying till tomorrow. You keep telling yourself, okay, so I'll start tomorrow. Then weeks go by, months, years. You then don't fail dramatically. You don't crash suddenly. You just seem to not go anywhere. You stall. And what makes this worse is that you know you're capable of more, and deep down you can feel that. But instead of moving forward, you distract yourself, you scroll, you plan, you overthink, and you wait for the right time. And here's the worst part. You don't realize it, but you start getting used to it. It starts to become the norm. You get used to just waiting for one day when I've got it all sorted, then I can just finally live the life that I want. You get used to half effort. You get used to the feeling of potential staying potential. You get used to other people building their lives while yours stays on pause. And then you're always comparing yourself, saying, what's wrong? Why can't I do that? What's wrong with me? And that's the quiet acceptance that eats people alive. Because deep down, you're not just avoiding work. You're avoiding the feeling that comes with trying, and possibly confirming the fear that you secretly carry about yourself. What if I try and it proves I'm not good enough? What if I start and I still can't follow through? What if this is just who I am? So you delay. And it's not because you don't care. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're not disciplined. It's because you care too much. And this is where my story comes in. I wasn't wasting my life in some dramatic way. No rock bottom, no explosion, no moment where everything just suddenly fell apart. I was just wasting it quietly. Like I said, always thinking, always planning, always waiting for the right time. I was always into self-development, always working on myself, but I was never fully committing. I was just never fully moving. So then years passed like that, and what scared me wasn't failure. It was one day looking back and realizing how much time I'd wasted or traded for comfort and avoidance and staying small. How many times have I avoided doing the thing I said I would do, all because of that fear inside? And that's when it clicked. Procrastination wasn't my problem. It was fear. Fear of fully stepping in. Fear of being seen. Fear of what would happen if I actually tried and stopped hiding behind delay or waiting for the right moment or being perfect. And once I saw that, everything changed. Not because I started to force myself to act, but because I stopped fighting this wrong battle. And that's why I'm making these videos. In this video especially, I want to show you what worked. I want to show you what shame-based procrastination actually is and actually does to your life. And it's the fact that fear keeps you stuck without you even realizing it. And why all of these motivational videos about just push yourself are only making it worse, because they're not addressing the root issue. And so for a long time, I thought I had time. And fear will trick you into thinking that. You think it'll just tell you, yeah, you've got tomorrow. Don't worry, you've got tomorrow. You've got today after. It's okay. Put it off. It's okay. It doesn't matter. And then you can tell yourself you're just being patient. That's another rationalization. But I wasn't avoiding life. I kind of was. I was just kind of postponing it. The things that mattered the most just stayed sort of out of reach, just out of reach. So what is actually happening here? What is the system that the brain uses to keep safe? So when action feels threatening, not dangerous, just sort of uncomfortable, your nervous system will step in, and then avoidance creates some kind of relief. And then this relief will get reinforced. Your brain then learns a simple rule: delay equals safety. So then this isn't laziness, it's conditioning by your brain. It's a reinforcement mechanism. And unless you see it, it will just constantly run your life. It will constantly run in the background. The shift. So then the answer isn't pushing harder. Force just teaches the nervous system that action is dangerous. So the real shift then is noticing the fear earlier, before it turns into identity. Before I didn't do it yet becomes, this is just who I am. This is just how I am. So then once fear is seen clearly, it will lose its grip on you. It will lose its leverage. And then action will stop feeling like some kind of fight, some kind of internal war. So remember this: if you're capable and still feeling stuck, this isn't something wrong with you. This isn't a flaw. It's a system you've learned, and systems can be unlearned. So this channel is about catching fear early, before hesitation quietly decides your life for you.